1978 table, and we are using a 1986. So it's almost 10 years apart. Do you think British Airways productivity increased, decreased, or stayed the same?
Increase?
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure they increased their productivity over time. So we cannot say this is the productivity on which this table was calculated. What do we have to do to get the productivity for 1986?
It's like the tool you said moments ago, but I don't remember. For
Extrapolation, right?
Yeah.
However, for extrapolation, we need a set of data. In this case, we just have one snapshot of 1 year. We need at least 2 points to do extrapolation, right? You cannot do it with just 1 point. Do we have information over time of British Airways productivity? Yes, we have it here. Exhibit 3. We have passengers, we have staff. We need passengers and staff. We don't have aircraft, actually. So we are not going to use this productivity index or definition. We're just going to use this productivity definition, passengers per staff member. And we have here how passengers and staff members have moved over the years. So passengers increasing, staff decreasing, right? So if passengers are increasing and staff is decreasing, what's my insight here in terms of productivity? If my passengers are going up and my staff is going down, and my productivity definition is passengers over members. So the passengers, the upper part is growing and the lower part is decreasing. So the productivity is increasing, right? So we have a denominator there, passengers, and it's increasing, and we have the denominator that is decreasing. So the overall rate or ratio is increasing. So productivity is increasing, right? And I'm going to copy this table just for passengers and staff, because I want to know if we have 78, 79, 81, 83, 85, and we need 86. If you don't want to do extrapolation, you can say this is the productivity because it's near to 86, right? We can just divide this over this and we have the productivity, and we can assume the productivity for 86 didn't change that much for 85 to 86. But I want to be more refined and I want to extrapolate the next column here, 1986, okay? If you want to do this, take this as 86, that's fine, I repeat it. But since I want to have a better or refined solution, I'm going to do extrapolation. So I'm going to copy this table and I'm going to do extrapolation. Actually, I'm going to show you how to do it here. There you go. So it's important to know that, the staff is in K, in por miles, and MM is millions, okay? I'm gonna erase this. So I'm going to graph each of these. I'm going to graph the staff per year, and draw or insert a graph. I'm going to use scatter. And I'm going to use scatter as well for the passengers. Going to scatter 2. I want this in another one. We can see it here, right? So staff is decreasing, passengers is increasing. And I'm going to draw, since I want 1986 here, I'm going to draw a trend line. Okay, this is what I was telling you when I was talking about the nature of the curve you're trying to analyze. This is a linear trend line, but ¿han tomado matemáticas? ¿Han visto curvas lineales, cuadráticas, de tercer orden o no? Honestamente.
O sea, sí lo hemos visto, pero no lo tengo tan fresco todavía.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to let you guys know that we can use these tools to analyze cases. So don't think that aside. Actually, I told you, Tiffany & Co. is a mathematic problem too. But this is just an example. Next cases for this term are not like this. But just if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll suggest for you to dig into those classes for the third term. So since I know this is kind of a parabolic curve, I can say this is second term order. But actually, if I add a third order, it feels more smoothly, right? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to add a trend line. So it's not linear. I'm pretty sure this is, since this is like an S, I'm pretty sure it's like 3 or 4 order. Okay, 4, I think 4 fits nicely. We can be more refine this by getting the formula. We can have the formula and we can, so y is this axis and x are the years. So if I want the staff in 1986, so I just evaluate 1986 in x and it's going to give me a y. But I don't want to do that. I just want to do it visually. So what I will do, more or less, what do you think this is? Like 32, right? We can say that. And this is more or less, what do you think? Like a 24, roughly?
Yeah.
I think so. So I'm going to put 24. We can have the exact number if we use the formulas, but I don't want to use them. If you want to, you can. And just evaluate the year you want to have. Actually, it's already there, the dot. So I think it's fine. It's there. So the productivity for British Airways for 1986 is, what did we say? Passengers per staff member. Passengers per staff member. Did I do something wrong? By just dividing those numbers?
I don't think so.
I think so, because we have case and millions. It's like dividing
Oh, yeah.
manzanas y peras, no? So we have to use one factor. How many case are in 1 million? How many case are in 1 million? How many thousands? 1,000 thousands.
Okay.
Yes, that was the one. 1,000. Sorry, Pamela, for interrupting you. So we just have to, if I say 1 million equals 1,000K, that's my conversion factor. So I want to, you can convert either one, these to millions or these to Ks. I'm going to convert these to Ks because I want to use zeros instead of points or decimals. So this in case is this, if this is times 1,000. So I'm dividing passengers over this. You can see 750. And what was its productivity 10 years before? 308. So more than the double, right? What insight can you get from this?
That the productivity increase?
Yeah, the productivity increased. It can be either for technology, it can be, I don't know, yeah, mostly I think technology. So we can assume all the industry, the aviation or airlines industry, moves with this kind of similar rate. So I can say Ryanair had this increase in its productivity in 10 years. But I still don't have information for Ryanair productivity. How do you think we can calculate Ryanair productivity? If you read this case in detail, you will find that Ryanair looks a lot as the United States Airlines. So I can assume that the productivity of United States Airlines is specifically, no, it is not. Well, if you don't know what airline is similar to Ryanair, and actually it doesn't say, you can take the average of the United States Airlines. So you can assume that the average productivity of United States Airlines is the same as the Ryanair's productivity, because they are similar if you read the case. So I'm going to copy, or actually, I'm just going to calculate it with my calculator to find what's the average of this. So I got an average of 8,800, no, sorry, 708. Did you get the same or did you calculate it? Okay, so yeah, I got 708.2. So that was for this year. So they were really productive 10 years before this table. But we want to have this table, this productivity 10 years after, in order for us to have the cost. So if we have British Airways productivity in this year, and we have British Airways productivity 10 years after, and we have Ryanair's productivity in this date, 1987, and we want to find the productivity of Ryanair in 1986, 10 years later, what do we do? What do you think we do? I already assume that the whole industry moves with the same improvement in productivity. So if British Airways increased from 3008 as productivity to 750, we calculate the rate. So it's gonna be this minus this over this. That's how you calculate the percentage increase. I think you have done that in some class, I guess. So it's a 144%. In fact, if I assume this increase in productivity is the same for all the industry, because of technology, it usually advances at the same pace. And I calculated that Ryanair's at this time, I'm going to copy this here. Okay. And I have that for Ryanair, this was 708.2. I just have to multiply this times the rate of increase. And this is productivity for Ryanair for 1986. A pretty great advantage, right, over British Airways in productivity. So I might say they might be profitable, but not yet. Okay, because we still need to analyze. So we have the productivity for 1986. What do we do next? What do you think we do next? And I already told you before what we need to do next. If these costs, variable costs, were calculated for British Airways with this productivity, we have to calculate these expenses with this productivity. What do we do? Regla de tres, ¿no? Otra vez, es muy básica la regla de tres. Entonces, si esto está calculado con esta productividad, ¿cuánto será este valor con esta productividad? Entonces, es este valor, lo voy a poner en Irish Pounds. Este valor, this value, times this productivity over this productivity. Si no saben la regla de tres, les digo, la pueden googlear porque es muy práctica y sí, es muy práctica. So we have this calculation. We're going to use this factor to calculate the UK pounds. Something's not right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we do the same here. So it's just regla de tres. Let me fix these cells. So it's this one. This one. I'm almost there. There is. So what do you think? Is this going to be profitable or not? Before I calculate something else. Let's do a poll. Let me add this just as a first guess. So let me know, do you think Ryanair is going to be profitable for this new service or not? Okay. A lot of you think it's profitable. Most of you think it's going to be profitable. Okay, let me calculate this. So this is the summation of this.
It is missing the first one, or no?
What?
No.
Oh, it's missing the first one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. So let me do the same. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to use this. To exchange rate. So is it profitable or not?
No.
No, right? And I'm going to calculate the operating profit, which is this minus this. It's not profitable at all, right? Most of you thought this was going to be profitable, but it is not. What's the problem? Why is it not profitable? If it is really productive, right?
Is it because
Yes.
most of the expenses, for example, rise up? In the case of, for example, landing fees in Irish pounds was just 11.7, and then in Irish pounds, but with the Ryanair, it became 59. So is an increase in the expenses.
Something is. The main problem here, Camila, I think was you, is that fixed costs are really high. So it doesn't matter if you have a great productivity. Look, this is Ryanair's and this is British Airways. It doesn't matter because those fixed variable costs are minimum compared to the fixed ones, right? So it doesn't matter how productive you are, the costs are really high. And if you have a really low price, well, this is going to happen. You're not going to have any profit. Those are the problems here. Very low price, very low revenue, but very high costs, fixed costs, okay? So I suggest Ryanair not to enter to this new service. That's my final conclusion. That's my thesis, okay? After this analysis, all of this analysis, I can argument why. Okay, did you follow me? Was it clear?
I mean, I understand like the result, but in the process, sometimes I get lost, but
yeah, it's got, I mean, the part A is the hardest one. Part B and part C are not that hard. But I wanted to solve this with you. However, when we analyze the balance scorecard in the third term and how to use KPIs, we are going to use numbers. So I'll suggest for you to at least know la regla de tres, how do you do interpolation, extrapolation, how to use rates, increase rates. I'm pretty sure you already know that, how to calculate an increase rate, a decrease rate. Do you know all of this? Have you calculated this before? Percentages increase? Yes? No?
yes.
Yes. I'm pretty sure you have. If you haven't, I'll suggest for you to give a review on it because I'm going to use them for the third term. So just to have 5 weeks for no excuses on the third term because yes, the case is going to require that. So we're going to start doing the wrap up for this class. Important things. If you go to Microsoft Teams,